What is up everybody, Bigjuicyhog here, and I am back with another video for you. Today we're going to be talking about the first new MMO I've played in quite some time. Not really new, but it's new to me, and that will be Guild Wars 2. So I wanted to give you a little bit of an early game review of Guild Wars 2 from a casual boomer's perspective. Not actually a boomer, but the definition seems to have been lost. So Guild Wars 2 is an MMORPG that released in 2012 and is still going pretty strong today. With WoW still a little bit off from its next expansion and me feeling a little bit bored more often than not in the game, I decided that I wanted to give Guild Wars 2 a shot for the first time. All the opinions on the game are my own and once again come from the position of being a slightly older gamer with somewhat limited time to play and no patience for overly grindy mechanics. So as far as graphics go for the game, they're actually pretty good. I think they're at least on par with World of Warcraft, and the animation style looks and holds up very well several years later. The character models look very nice, wilderness areas look okay, and the buildings look pretty decent as well. Personally, I don't really have anything negative to say about the graphics considering the game came out in 2012. They are of a decently cartoonish style that will continue to look good even as the game continues to age. Generally, the games that end up looking really bad are the ones that go for a more realistic look, which is not the aesthetic that Guild Wars 2 was going for. So the first thing you notice when you get in game is that it's pretty story focused, and it's quite easy to get from place to place. The zones don't seem too incredibly big so far, and there are tons of waypoints that you can teleport directly to, which saves you a lot of time. Something that's greatly appreciated by someone who values their time as much as I do. At the start, you generally have some quests as well as some public events, which were both decently populated, showing that the game is still popular. Both of these were simple and standard fare for many MMOs. One thing that I've certainly really enjoyed so far in my time playing the game is the combat. Combat's a hybrid of the tab system that they use in WoW and action combat, so a little more ARPG-like. Playing a warrior class, so I actually get to move around quite a lot in combat and find it feels, like I said, a little bit like an ARPG. It's a nice change from the standard tab targeting of WoW, where movement doesn't really matter at all, unless you're a rogue or something and you want to get behind the target. There are dodges even, which is kinda cool. And another cool thing about the combat system is the weapon that you choose determines what skills you actually use. With an axe I had a whirlwind attack, and with the sword I had a cool leap attack that could also be used somewhat as a movement ability if I wanted to use it. It's pretty easy to figure out, and it's interactive enough to hold your attention. The gear system takes a little bit of getting used to if you're more used to some of the other MMOs like World of Warcraft. Instead of a piece of gear just dropping with a certain stat on it all the time, which is still a thing of course, you oftentimes get to choose what kind of stats you would like on your gear. If you want to do a little more damage, you can go that way, or if you need a little bit more survivability, then you can head in that direction as well. I really like the idea of being able to customize your gear throughout the leveling process and not being pigeonholed into a certain build type just because that's what dropped for you. Everything about the game so far has been very casual and noob-friendly. There's nothing too punishing so far, and you can play a little bit at a time without feeling like you're falling behind. The interface is not hard to navigate, the maps are clean and easy to understand, and the combat is fun and interactive. So, would I recommend this game? Well, for someone that's into hardcore grindy type of old-school MMO, probably not. However, if you're more of a casual player looking to get into a fun game where grouping is not required and you're not punished for every little mistake that you make in the game, then come on in! Guild Wars 2 has been a good time for me so far, and the only regret is I wish I had tried it sooner. Thanks for listening, and I'll be back before too long with another review for the mid-game.